Useful, fun, and just plain daft. But I love them, and I've reviewed dozens, if not hundreds, on this channel. But when I look through the comments section, I often find someone saying, "Dave, just use a knife." So today I'm going to be testing out 7 of my kitchen gadgets to find out which is quicker, the kitchen gadget or the knife. The first one we're going to try is this really cool tomato cutter. To use it, you place your tomato in here, press the plunger down, and it pushes it through these 2 blades, cutting it into 4 pieces. Pretty cool, huh? It's a great little gadget, but is it quicker than a knife? And for this challenge, I took 2 packs of tomatoes, and I counted out 25 from each. I'm going to be slicing them straight into this bowl, and the timer is going to start when I pick up the first tomato. Go! Although I really do like using this kitchen gadget, it can be a little bit cumbersome. If the tomato's a bit soft, sometimes it just squidges it, rather than pushing it through the cutter. And of course, you're also limited to the size of tomato you can cut with it. But I really like it if you want to just cut up a few tomatoes for your salad, or you can use it for grapes and have them on your breakfast cereal. So cutting all these took exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds. Let's see how we get on with a knife. I am cutting them into 4 pieces again, not just in halves, and to save a bit of time, I'm actually just going to leave them on the chopping board. And I'm trying to be fast, but careful, so I don't cut my fingers. And this time, it took me 2 minutes and 16 seconds. That's a whole 36 seconds longer just to cut 25 tomatoes. That's quite significant and a big win for the kitchen gadget. Have you ever seen one of these gadgets? It's got these 6 blades side by side, and it's designed for cutting up bananas. For this test, I'm going to start with 2 peeled bananas, and we'll see how long it takes to slice them. The clock starts when I pick up the first banana, and you can see it really does appear to be quite quick with this gadget. Because the banana's so soft, it slices through effortlessly. And there we go, it took a total of 17 seconds. And what I like is that the pieces are cut to a really uniform thickness. So let's see how it compares to using a knife. This time I'm using this smaller knife, and let's start. There's going to be a bit more variation with the thickness of my slices. It's a balance between speed and accuracy. But there we go, it's taken a total of 23 seconds. That's about 35% more time. But I would argue that it's probably easier to clean a knife than this kitchen gadget. Next I want to try something a little bit different. I want to see how this automatic potato peeler compares, not to a knife, but to one of these manual hand peelers. So I took a pack of potatoes, and I sorted them out into 2 piles of roughly the same sizes. We're going to start with the Roto Express automatic potato peeler. This thing really is a cool gadget. It comes with a power transformer, and you plug it into the back of the unit here. To use it, you lift up the top spike, push the potato down onto these bottom spikes here on the rotating plate, slide the top spike back down into the potato, then lift up this cutting arm. Press the button, and leave it to do its thing. As the potato rotates, the cutting arm works its way down from the top all the way to the bottom, and it removes the skin as it goes. How cool is that? And when it reaches the bottom, it turns itself off. So I worked my way through all the potatoes, and to do all 6, it actually took 3 minutes and 51 seconds. And if we take a closer look at one, there's these really uniform markings all the way down, but the top and the bottom do still have some skin which the peeler wasn't able to remove. To get this off, you'd have to use a hand peeler afterwards. But I do love this pile of peelings. So let's do the same test again with a manual peeler. This is a pretty boring task, and personally I prefer these kinds of peelers. But I wanted to use this one because it's more like a knife. I worked my way through all 6, and unbelievably it actually took me 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That's 5 seconds quicker than the electric peeler. How close was that? And now I'm going to put all these potatoes to a good use with the next gadget. We're going to test out this French fry cutter. So I took it out of the box, removed the packaging and assembled it. Here you go, you can see how it works. It's this long plunger which pushes the potatoes through this clever cutting blade. So let's see how long it takes to do all 6 potatoes. I'm putting a chopping board at the front to catch them, and the timer starts when I pick up the first potato. Place it in and push the lever. Oh wow, this thing really is a joy to use. I really like it. You do have to give the lever quite a good push, especially with the bigger potatoes. And you might have to clear a bit of space every now and again. And to do all 6, it took just 33 seconds. That's seriously impressive. Of course, there is quite a bit of setup time, but what I love about this gadget is how perfect they are when they come out. They're all exactly the same thickness. All that is, apart from these little offcut pieces which came from the very edge of the potato. So, how do we compare with a knife? I'm using this long knife again, and I'm cutting them as quickly and safely as I can. Again, I'm trying to keep them about the same thickness as what came out of the machine, but what is nice about doing them manually, we don't get those tiny little offcuts that we did before. So I worked my way through all 6, and it took me a total of 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Well, that's clearly a big victory for the gadget. That's over 400% longer. Next I'm going to try out this herb mincer. It's got these 6 circular cutting discs inside, which roll over the herbs to chop them all up. And for this experiment I'm using 2 coriander plants. So I chopped all this one off to give me a nice big handful, and I'm going to start the timer the moment we start cutting. To be fair, this gadget does work really well, and it only takes a number of seconds, really, before it's all looking pretty finely chopped. There we go, 15 seconds and it's all done. It's super easy, and it's generally chopped it up really well. So let's try it again using a knife. I put another big handful on this chopping board, and let's go. Again, I'm trying to cut as quickly as I can here, but of course keeping safe, and I'm certainly not a professional chef. I'd say my knife skills are kinda mediocre, and to chop all of this up, it's taken me 27 seconds. That's nearly twice as long, and if we take a look, it's definitely not as finely chopped as it is with a mincer, so I'd say that's another win for the kitchen gadget. Next we're looking at garlic, and I'm going to see how this kitchen gadget compares to a knife. To use it, the plastic casing opens up, and you can see these blades that spin inside. You can slide the whole assembly out of the case to make it easier to clean, and you can also see how it works. Turning these wheels spin the gears, which turn the blades. So let's try it out. The first thing I did was split this bulb open, and I'm putting together 3 pairs of similar sized cloves, a large one, medium one and small one, then peeling them, and we'll test out the kitchen gadget first. I'm putting all 3 cloves inside, then shut the door, and you just roll it back and forward over the work surface. This makes the blades inside spin, which chops it all up. And after just a few seconds of rolling it back and forward, the whole thing's full of chopped up garlic. The whole process only took 21 seconds, but I suppose we should add a few more seconds for emptying it out. Now, let's try it with a knife. I find it quite cumbersome trying to chop all of this with a knife, and to be honest, I think I'd tend to mash it with a fork. I kept slicing back and forward over it all to try and make it nice and small, and that's taken me 1 minute and 11 seconds, so significantly longer. And if we have a look to see how it compares, the stuff from the kitchen gadget was cut up a lot finer. Definitely a win for the chopper. Next we're going to try this hot dog spiralizing cutter. I'm opening up this pack of 4 jumbo hot dogs, and we're going to try 2 in the gadget, then I'll try doing the other 2 with a knife. So we place one into the gadget, give it a little push down, then close the top and give it a squeeze. Open it up again, and carefully try to roll and pull out the sausage. They do get stuck in there a bit. I did exactly the same with the other one. And the whole thing took 37 seconds. And if we take a look, you can see it's cut it really evenly all the way down the sausage. The idea is it allows some nice smoky aromas to infuse inside while you're cooking it, and you can also squirt in your sauces. Oh, how good does that look? So let's try it with a knife. You do need to be really careful not to cut all the way through. I'm just holding the blade about halfway into the sausage at a slight angle, then rolling it down the chopping board. You have to keep repositioning it as you roll it towards you, and try to keep the blade cutting at an even depth. So that's the first one done, and with the magic of editing, we'll take a look at it while I cut the second. It's come out really well, to be fair. The spiral's nice and even, but there's definitely more room for error using a knife, because you could easily cut through it by mistake. But let's go back to see how long it took to cut them both. So that's the second one done too, and to do them both took 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's nearly twice as long as using the gadget. Now, have you seen this kitchen gadget? This is one of my favourite, and if you'd like to see this one working, along with a whole load of others, you can click on the link. Have fun, stay safe, and as always,